Hello, my name is Natasha. Thank you for joining me. Welcome to Nature is My Medicine, a space for stories, heart centered reflections to connect deeper with ourselves and with others. Today is more of an intuitive discussion, conversation. My intention for this is that by me speaking about my experiences, my lived experiences, that could help other people, could help you. And by that, I mean to bring clarity to life experiences and questions that we have, such as what do I want? What do I desire? Am I taking the right steps towards those things? Am I living my truth? Am I living authentically? I have these questions frequently, and it's something I'm reflecting on. But a conversation this morning brought these questions to me in a slightly different light, and that's what I would like to share with you today. What I mean by that is I was talking to my boyfriend on the phone, and I heard myself saying to him how growth and development within ourselves and each other and the relationship is really important to me. And I don't know why I heard it differently, but I did. So after the phone call, I reflected on this. And one of my ways of reflecting, not only through conversation, but listening to tarot or star sign YouTube videos. And what they do for me, and they've been particularly important to me the last couple of years, is they bring words and feelings to the surface that are there, but I don't necessarily access them on my own sometimes. So they just shine a light, they bring attention to what I'm feeling. Generally, I would say they don't tell me things I don't know, they just bring them more into my awareness, and then you resonate with certain things. So when you go through phases of feeling like you're living in uncertainty, and a more romantic way I like to now phrase that is living in the mystery, we need grounding practices, self-care practices, soothing practices that help us to feel more stable, more in control, I would suggest as well, in that space. So for me, I realized that me watching these videos helps me to feel like I've got more control over my experience, where actually deep down I don't feel like I have any control at all. And I know that it's my job to go with the flow and to release. One of the mantras I've had for many, many, many years is about letting go. And that's why today's revelations were so funny in a way. The highlight of my learning is, and I'm unashamedly, I've got my notebooks that I'm going to use for this, is that every time I've gone through change and transformation, which feels pretty regularly, to be completely honest, every time I've changed, it's uncomfortable. And I know that we need to give ourselves space to sit in stillness and to reflect. We need to give ourselves grace and kindness, because it has felt like a stripping away of self, of parts of us that no longer serve. And I know what those parts are because they feel uncomfortable. And what my trip to Guatemala did so beautifully last month for me was show me how it felt to be in flow, and for for life to just flow effortlessly and with ease. So I've seen and feel the contrast between when things feel stuck and you have resistance to experiences or things that are going on in your life versus the experience I had in Guatemala. So one of the questions that have been coming up for me of late is knowing that I needed to release things from my life, patterns from my life that no longer serve. But in order to release, you have to know what you're holding on to. And that's actually more challenging than it sounds in my experience. So anyway, the notes I'm reading are from the video I watched this morning. So everything was absolutely resonating for me. I was just sat there thinking, wow, thank you. And she was saying about getting yourself to the right place so that the universe can support you through the next phase. And to me, that means being in acceptance of where you're at. She also clarified that we never know in the moment. We only can see why things are the way they are in retrospect. And that is truth for me so far. What about for you? Do you have clarity of the experiences in the moment, or for you, does it tend to be in retrospect? One of the things that came up for me in the reading is I wrote that I'm scared that I'll spend my life reflecting and changing and I'll miss the living. Also, that I'm unconfident where to put myself. You know, in the in between phases where you're neither there nor here, you're in this unknown, you're in this mystery. Who are you in those moments? What else? The thing that I've noticed I speak a lot about in my other videos, check them out if you haven't already. I'd love to hear from you over on those videos. Is what is happening in your experiences versus what feels like is happening. So again, it's about the lens, it's about the filter, it's about our perspectives. And I think it's healthy to ask questions around what lens am I looking through? If I change the lens of that camera, will I see a different reflection? Will I see a different picture? Another really interesting example, and again, I'm not taking credit for these examples because they weren't mine, but very relatable to my work as a physio, is it's difficult to conceptualize the discomfort that we can feel in our lives when there isn't a crisis or there isn't a specific thing that you can say, because of this, I feel this way. So she gave the example of if you have an injury or pain, that helps us to attach onto that experience and to potentially, she didn't say this, I'm saying this, we can potentially blame that situation or use that situation for feeling the way that we feel. Like we can't do the things that we want to do. We are victim to the current state of health that we're in. I've run out of data on my storage data on my phone. That's funny. So we'll see how we go. But yeah, I was saying how we can use a situation with an injury or pain, for example, and feel victim to it. Just go with me here. rather than look at the emotional depths below why that has happened in the first place. Again, I've spoken before in other videos how the body can be a representation of our emotions. So it can show us things through pain, for example, as a way for us to take notice of how we're actually feeling. So sometimes it's easier to have or create a situation to focus on that feels easier than looking at the emotions and the thoughts and the feelings and the belief systems beneath that and what that actually means for us. And I know not everything's about solutions. I'm someone that I love a solution. Whereas actually, what this is, one of the things this is showing me and was clarified through this reading, and I've spoken about before, so this is nothing new, is that sometimes we need to sit in the silence. We need to sit in stillness and allow things to move, allow things to shift and change and relinquish control. So for me, I need to look at the ways in which I've been trying to insert control through my thoughts and beliefs. And it's shown me those thoughts and beliefs in my emotions, or my emotions have shown me what I'm thinking and feeling. Relinquish control and just let things be. Stop trying to rush things, stop trying to drive things. The thing that is supposed to happen will happen effortlessly. That's for me, the definition of being in flow. And what I experienced last month is it was in flow, it was easy. So I have to observe and I have to release, for me, the feeling that I need to be in control to make things happen. And instead, surrender, another word I've used a lot recently, surrender and just allow it to happen. So to finish, living my best life I shouldn't be agonizing over it. And this is what this lady said. And I was like, bingo, okay. I have been agonizing over, am I doing the right things? How can I get to this point that I feel like I should be at and that I'm not at? And the questions that I've had for a while that she again confirmed is, for me, it's about focusing on what makes me feel aligned. And that includes, who are you spending time with? What conversations are you having? And also, what lights you up? What expands you? So for me, the minute I go to myself, I get to relinquish control and just let go and allow things to happen as they need to and want to, natural universal law. I can feel my body relax. So that tells me everything that I need to know in that moment. Let it happen. And for that, we have to slow down and be patient. And the word patience has also been coming up for me a lot. So these are all the beautiful synchronicities that I'm aware of them, but now I know they're synchronicities. They're little guidance points for me to go, okay, yes, I accept. I accept the challenge of slowing down, being patient, and letting it happen. And another way for me to drive the point home for myself, and it may help you, is we know what we're meant to know and we don't know what we're not yet meant to know. Answers are going to show themselves. In the moment, we can breathe, rest, and also move. So movement practices, breathing practices, things that help us to feel grounded and create a feeling of stability within ourselves. So daily exercise, daily breathing practices, daily meditation, daily conversations with trusted friends, nourishing yourself with healthy foods and drinking good water, good quality sleep, all these things that we can do now that helps our nervous system feel calm and safe. Let me know in the comments if this resonated with you. If you're still here, I'm guessing it has. Thank you for staying the full length of the video. I appreciate you. And let me know in the comments if you have shared experiences or different perspectives about what we've spoken about today. And I look forward to seeing you at the next chat.